Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast. This is Anand Birai, and today with me is the educator and publisher, Mr. Viplav Baxi. Viplav has published a book called What If Edu and has been associated with online education for about 20 years. We are going to talk about the challenges of homeschooling, its effects on kids, how to prepare for naplan, VCE, etc., and how to select a private tutor coach for your kids. The questions are a lot and time is limited, so let's jump right into it with Viplav now.
So, what are the advantages of learning in school for kids?
For kids, learning in schools is a great advantage because it's a structured curriculum. You're getting to meet a lot of other children as well. The teachers are have a particular schedule in which they not only take care of your academic requirements but also what your co-curricular requirements. So, school is a very important cultural and learning space for children and a very essential part of children's lives.
What are the shortcomings of homeschooling?
Parents need to be prepared to invest a lot of time in homeschooling. So, if the parents themselves are not equipped to handle the rigor required by for homeschooling, then things can really spiral out of control. So, being connected to a community of other parents who are doing homeschooling, of other resources, is very important for parents to work out. Also, children, because they don't have opportunities for social interaction that much when they are homeschooling in terms of an educational context. So they have to be, they also have to be, given those opportunities to interact, to go in activities and so on and so forth with other children of their age groups. So that is also that social interaction for education is very important for children who are homeschooling.
This is like new thing, lockdown and all. We haven't seen this before, or even the kids haven't experienced this before. Uh, so, in your experience, from your expertise, what do you think? What kind of impact the kids are facing, or what kind of difference in confidence level, or their talent is getting affected because of this?
So two things, positives and negatives. Negatives, of course, everybody knows the lack of social interaction, lack of collaboration, that's physical collaboration. Many things are learned by doing things physically in groups and teams. And those opportunities are not available when you are isolated physically. As well as the personal touch is something that doesn't translate always in the online medium. It doesn't always translate into a very effective means of collaboration. There are positives as well. The students have learned and the teachers have learned how to adapt themselves to an online medium, to a digital medium, and they are slowly exploring what it means to be online and what it means to be digital. And that's a great advantage because the future of work is all digital, and more and more we'll see the digital impact of on communications, on collaboration increasing. And so it's a vital skill to be able to learn these things and to cope with the problems of the digital medium itself. That said, digital medium can also be leveraged to reach out to much larger numbers of people and to get feedback from much larger numbers of people, to collaborate with much larger numbers of people as well. So the scale of the network and the knowledge of the network can also be leveraged in the digital medium. So both sides, there are positives and there are negatives as well.
Now, since it is the fact that kids are home, parents are working from home, so there is always that struggle of finding time and giving attention. This can disturb everyone's life, not just parents but kids also, and the way they are operating. So, what are your tips for the parents? How should they handle this situation?
So many different things. One is that there should be definitely some time which is personal time, which should be blocked by parents for the children, where they just meet and talk, maybe without devices around, without any technology around. I think that should be one detox kind of phase because you're all the time you're on the devices. So I think there should be once at one time where you either meet for dinner or for a meal or for just a break, when you spend that quality time with your children. You should do that in any case, COVID or no COVID. But in this situation, it's required a lot. Second thing is, I think your infrastructure should be strong enough to support collaboration for everybody. So make sure that there's no contention in terms of or what devices people need or what bandwidth people need. And that's really important to also take care of. The third is give some space to children, because the learning progress or the way they will actually interact with their teachers, the difficulties and challenges they will find in the online medium, they have to navigate that. So children, you'll have to need to be more patient with the children than you were before, because it's really a new medium for everybody. And also be patient with the teachers, because for them also it's a new medium and they're also navigating through it as they go through. So it's an unprecedented time. I think a lot of empathy, a lot of trust, and a lot of patience is required to navigate these changes from the parents. So take it easy. Don't get hassled by it. Is what I would really be advising every parent.
And what are the challenges, if at all, you think the kids could face for naplans and VCEs because of this environment? The kids who are not in naplan or who would be going in naplan in the next year or a couple of years, or the kids who already missed it and they are going to go for it, or the kids who are supposed to prepare for VCE and all, what kind of impact could be there?
So for NAPLAN, the school curriculum is supposed to take care of a lot of the skills that you develop. But students are at different levels and will always be at different levels, as per the grade level they are in. So they may be ahead of the grade, they may be behind the grade, they may be at the grade level. And they will always require certain opportunities for coaching, mentoring. And this is really important for parents to understand that despite what happens in a child's life in school, there is always there's always a necessity for doing some personal mentoring and coaching, whether you do it with at home personally, or you take the help of a coaching or tutoring company. So for the VC, things get very intense, and therefore um, a lot of attention has to be paid to daily progress. So to make sure that the concepts are clear from day one. If they're not clear, the mastery is obtained quickly. The trouble spots are quickly discovered and resolved. Because this is a compounding thing. If you start looking at a problem in one concept and you don't rectify it at the very time, then it goes on and compounds and keeps on compounding till directly impacts your progress in marks. So keeping discipline in terms of attending the classes, in terms of being able to cover things as per a plan, being able to plan and take responsibility, and having all the resources in front of you so that you are not ever stuck for any help, whether it is your the books or your online material, your network of friends and teachers, or it's your coaching or tutoring mentor or buddy.
What are your tips for the parents? What kind of resources they can avail?
So on the emotional aspect, I think a lot of patience and care by the parents will really go a long way. Being proactively engaged is always a good thing for parents, because they get to understand progress, they understand to get what the obstacles are, and then they can take proactive action. If they're themselves very competent in that particular subject, of course they can take lead academically as well. But if they're not confident or competent, they can take the help of the school, the teacher, the mentor or coach, and take their advice on how to proceed. So it's very important for the child to feel secure, for the child to feel that it's a safe to fail environment, and for the child to get continuous encouragement in their learning journey, wherever they are in their learning journey, and to be given the constant nudges and motivations to perform better. Sometimes you can't do it all on your own. You need help, and that's where personal mentors also come into play, or the school environment also. The teachers can also come into play directly here. But that one-on-one time that parents need to spend with the children, I think, counts for the most important part of their their lives, and especially in this age.
And now some parents, like especially from Indian background in Australia, they might not be very, articulated, or their English is not as per their Australian ways of speaking and all. They can go for mentoring, and not only them, like everyone. But so when they're selecting a mentor or a personal coaching, online coaching, what are the parameters they should look at, and how should they choose the right kind of system for their kids?
I think the first important thing is how much of trust and comfort you can establish with the tutor. That is really very important. If the tutor is simply a broadcaster of information, and the child is expected to just repeat after the tutor or just follow blindly what the tutor says, that doesn't quite work. It has to be an engaged and collaborative space where the student and the tutor both get together to co-create new information and new things. So that is really important as a first thing, that trust and comfort should be there. The delivery methodology should be one which is extremely collaborative. Curriculum that should be followed is the curriculum that they follow at school. So not just the chapters and topics or areas that they are focusing on at school, but also the way the school approaches that particular area or topic is very important. So, for example, in the Australian curriculum, there's a lot of constructivist pedagogy, which is saying that essentially you are creating information rather than broadcasting information. And a student is not like a vessel into which knowledge is going to be poured, but it's more of collaboration and constructing meaning out of the topics that you are learning. So that approach that curricular approach is really important. There's also a lot of importance given by us to cross-disciplinary learning. So if you're learning English, are you also able to look at something in math or science that complements what you're doing in English, or the other way around? So cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary kind of activities are also important. Project work, real life projects are very important. We put a lot of emphasis on real life applications. So not just contextualizing knowledge from what you have seen around you or observed around you, but also applying your knowledge, what you've learned, to real life problem solving in situations like that. So many different things that a parent should check out. The curriculum, the quality of the teachers, their communication, their alignment to what's happening at school, and above all the comfort, trust, and the availability, to support your child when the child needs that help. That's really important. When you're making that choice for the right support for your child, do ensure that you spend time with the tutor to understand what the tutor's style is of teaching and what the approach of that particular tutor is. It has to be very collaborative, very engaging, and it should build trust and comfort in the child for sure. There should also be a lot of competence in the subject itself, because that's what also you're hiring the tutor for, and that should also come through in your engagement. If the tutor doesn't start with the proper assessment of where the child is, then something is wrong, because unless you have very clear idea of what child wants and tutor doesn't know what child wants, you can't really start or decide a plan of action. Make sure that the tutor also plans with you what your engagement should be. So instead of expecting something from the tutor at periodic times to push you, be proactive. Ask the tutor what is your role in this entire exercise, and how you should support the tutoring activities, whether it's to help the child do homework, or ensure certain kind of attendance, or make some resources available for the child to learn. Your role in the entire journey is extremely important, and you must be very clear with the tutor on that.
And that was Viplav Bakshi with us. Stay tuned for more podcasts and information. Let us know your feedback and please don't forget to share, like, and comment. Thank you for being with us.